play mostly safe, because trying to fight zombies out in that kind of weather will get you. Especially since, like, if you're out in the really nasty weather too long. Okay, so Tropical Storm isn't here yet, but it should be here today. Soon. And I'm going ahead and running because, like, we're just going to be here all day. No reason not to run at this point. We might see a zombie or two, but that'll probably be it. If you don't mind, I would like your axe. I don't have the saw on me. Let me go ahead and grab this other axe too. And the machete, because I'll put those all away. Oh, is our hammer in here? Okay, but our saw and our nails aren't. Okay, good to know. I'm sorry, we actually have 3 shelves of weapons that go on our back. Oh no. Time to move stuff. Okay. That's the shelf? Alright. Because we filled up another thing of storage. I grab this, place item, move it on up. Can I get 4 of these in range? No. That's fine. So we'll grab this, go like this, you go here. And thanks to everyone who's been lurking, who's been chatting, who's been following, who's been subscribing, doing the bits, the hosts, the donos, the raids, all that good stuff. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you are enjoying the stream. We normally don't go quite this late. I say that as now I think about it, I think the last 3 streams we have gone this late, so maybe this is just what I do now. But we normally wrap up around 4 a.m. We have gone long. I don't really know what I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. It could be more Project Zomboid. Could be a different game. I gotta figure that out. I'm being indecisive about what our new second game time is. Yep, for that uptime, we are at 12 hours. Normally we go for 11 hours. Star Sector is a good game. That's one I need to play more. I have that game, I just need to play it more. I think I definitely had someone mention Star Sector at one point. Like I remember hearing that game mentioned. Alright, so I'm just moving this stuff upward little by little. So it's just kind of like this awkward moment. Because I want to keep, like, I don't want to have, you know, side weapon, you know, back weapons, side weapons, back weapon, like that kind of thing. I want them to be like, this area is the side weapon area. Realistically, in hindsight, maybe I should just start moving stuff over there, but it's alright, we're here. You have to figure out, because, like, so I mentioned this a number of times. I have the other games day where it's like I'm down to play like anything that, you know, one isn't like if it's something like would not absolutely go with the channel at all. Like maybe I'd pass in that kind of thing, but anything less than that, I would almost be willing to play just about anything that Twitch doesn't have rules against on stream if people really wanted to see it. I mean, that I also was like interested in giving a shot to play. Like, if it's a game I look at that's like that looks like the most boring game that's ever bored the boringness, I might decline. Because also on that point, like, if it's a game I have to buy, that is a consideration. Like I don't like I've been pretty, good about like when it comes to like buying games like oh yeah, I'm down to buy that game. But if it's a game that like I'm absolutely never playing that game again, why would I buy it? Like that kind of thing, I wouldn't pick up. I'm just gonna place this on top because I don't think. Oh, okay, there was a hand axe to put in there. All right, let's put our extra vitamins away. Okay, so I want to grab the wood axe. We're gonna chop down trees. And I want to grab our saw and our nails. Well, some of our nails. So we'll work on this for a moment. Thank you for the follow. Dead Silent ZA, welcome to the stream. Oh, I need to put the wrench away still. Oh, we'll speak with the emotes. Oh, let me grab our extra water bottle out of the backpack because I keep 2 for this reason. Alright, so before we start chopping trees and getting ourselves dangerously exerted and all that, we're just going to do once around. Once around this set of trees, see if there's any zombies anywhere nearby. If we see a single zombie, it's got to die. Well, any zombies we see got to die. This is way too close to our base to be allowed to survive. We don't chop any trees whatsoever. So we do a nice little loop here and make sure we're good to go. All right, looks good. You ready to say rip forest? Well, what's left of it. There was way more trees before. Now it'll be way less. Thank you for the follow. Bazooka Joe. Welcome to the stream. Lulu saying, imagine if you could burn down a forest in this game. Oh, you can. You really, really can. Like, not even a joke. You can burn down trees. Yeah. Like, that's the reason why people are like, why don't you do burns? It's like, all it takes is one zombie getting away, and then you just say, well, rip this entire city. Because that zombie ends up lighting up buildings, which have zombies in them, which then end up running around to other buildings, which then have zombies in them. And then you just come back to say later, it's like, when did half of Louisville disappear? Like, and it's amazing. When I say, like, Louisville disappear, it's like, very seriously, the majority of the city is burned to the ground. You have like little patches that survive because they got lucky, but the city itself is just gone. Like, and that's why I don't do burns. Is it's just so easily. Like, I remember, it does not count as your kills unless you mod. Like, there are mods to do it, but does not normally count your kills. Yeah, and it's also because it's like the easy clear. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I mean, also, honestly, I'm more concerned that we would probably die trying to do burns. Like, I would be more concerned of dying doing that than what we're doing with the melee. And the reason for it is the zombies take forever to die from a burn. Like, they do die, but you just sit there running in circles again and again and again with all these flaming zombies everywhere. And then they wander off and they set all the other things on fire, and just everything's on fire around you, so it's a whole thing. And if the zombie gets too close to you, you catch on fire. And it's a whole thing. Like the only two times I've done burns on stream is one, I did it in the really CDDA because you don't get a choice when you start the game. Your house is on fire, so you don't get much choice in that matter. Your house is actively on fire when you start, so there's no like putting that genie back in its bottle. Faye says, my last death was on a fire pit by accident. Tried to wash myself in panic mode, but it didn't work. No, like that's the thing. Like the zombies die like super slowly. Like you seriously walk in circle for in-game hours before the zombies finally succumb to the fire. And then you touch the fire and you just watch your life plummet. Thank you, Bazooka Joe. We don't actually know what my longest run is. I had a run before I was streaming that survived over 1 year. But I just treat it as if it were 1 year, because I wasn't paying attention to it, and that's been multiple computers ago, so I can't look it up. So at this point, I am accepting that this is our longest survived character, because it probably is. Yep, so we're at 1 year survived, 60,000 zombie kills. We're just kind of chilling today. We're supposed to have a tropical storm rolling in any minute now. So we're doing that. Let's put this wood axe back. Oh yeah, our goal is to clear the entire map. We do have respawns turned off, so it is doable, whereas normally it isn't. Yes, of the kills we have, only about 1,000 of those, give or take, would be gun kills. Everything else has been melee. And you'll notice my preferred weapon is a hunting knife on top of that, which is a strategic decision. Because normally, when you're sitting there fighting with like a fireman's axe and you're dealing with thousands of zombies, you kill a horde or two and then you have to sit down and wait till you recover your stamina, rinse and repeat. With the hunting knives, I can just keep poking. Like, sun comes up, we start poking, sun comes down, we finally get sleepy, and we stop poking it once we get sleepy. But stamina-wise, we just keep poking. That said, I have been using the whole range of weapons, so if we bring up the skills here... Oh, and this is the reason why exhaust is dangerous. So if I'm fighting zombies right now, I'm slower than the zombies, and you may not realize it, I'm holding the run button right now. That's why exertion's a bad time. Like this is one of the two main ways you die in this game. Way number one is you just misplay a fight and a zombie grabs you in the face and bites you. Way number two is you do the slow, insidious death, where you get super duper slow, and then you're trying to walk away from a zombie that's faster than you, and you just go, please zombie, don't do this. And you'll notice we're already sleepy and it's only noon. That's because we've been chopping down trees. And that does have a penalty on your tiredness. But yeah. So we got skills. And this was a 0 to hero build. So when we started, we had 0 fitness, 0 strength, 0 combat stats, 0 any stats. So every one of the stats we got, we worked on ourselves. Storm's still not here. Come on, man. Teasing us. We were promised a tropical storm. Just go over here. Turn this back on.
This week, he hosted his second annual Global Initiative Forum in New York. More than $7 billion was spent to tackle some of the worst problems in developing countries, such as poverty, disease, and climate change.
Start in the evening, tropical storm. Is anything like a real tropical storm, it'll be on our head for even longer.
The ground rules were simple. 15 minutes for our sit-down, split evenly between the Global Initiative and anything else we wanted to add.
Tomorrow's weather, tropical storm and thick fog. They're like, no, really, you are not going out. That is just the way this is. You are staying in. Yeah, like, I actually won't be too upset when we do eventually die, so long as the death isn't something that is, like, feels bad in itself. Like, if you die from just being, like, you make a mistake, you know it's a mistake, it's a dumb mistake, you were impatient kind of thing, that kind of death, I would be pretty pissed about. If it's a death like, we were just doing a fight and eventually we miss a swing, like that's realistically how we go. Is I either miss a swing, or I go to turn to give myself some space from a zombie and just screw up the timing. Like that's probably going to happen is how we go if we die. Bazooka just said, 7 months in, I died from a vehicle's desync, caused a fatal crash. It was brutal. Oh yeah, multiplayer, the desync, like, yeah. Oh, and before I get this bag really full up, let me give you a pro tip real fast. So, I like to carry around 2 bags, one for when I'm dealing with loot, and there's a couple reasons for that. So first of all, if I'm sitting here running and go, oh crap, big horde of zombies aggroed me, and we're at not just fairy overload, we're like extreme overload, I can just right click drop, and the bag's gone, I fight the zombies, everything's good, and I pick up the bag again. Because the alternatives are this. The alternatives go, oh crap, I'm overweight, let me drop. Actually, I can't barely do it for the bag. But you could drop the planks one by one, and it takes like a second or two each and every plank, and the whole time you're overburdened, losing stamina while dealing with zombies. Or, you've got it in your main bag, and you're like, okay, I can drop my bag, but I'm also dropping my food, my spare weapons, and my water. And I don't want to do that. So having a second bag is really nice. And then also when you go to like storage and that, I can go to shelf and just touch transfer all, and just all stuff goes. Goldiro says, I died sometimes from missing a big swing. Yep. Yeah. And everyone dies from, like, just... you play so many hours, and sooner or later you're going that. Oh, why not use the car to retrieve this loot? Driving the car off-road wears out the tires. Like, it would be faster, but it wears out the tires. And, like, we're not trying to get as much done as possible. We're basically just waiting out a tropical storm. Oh, yeah. Like, for people who are new, these moodles up here, pay attention. Those moodles are the difference between life and death. And it's not just waiting for starvation or something to come. Like, right now, we're unpleasantly hot. If I reach overheated, my ability to fight goes to hell. If you get to, like, the second level of dehydration, like thirst kind of thing, your ability to fight goes to hell. If you get to moderate exertion, your ability to do damage drops like 20-30%. If you go to high exertion, it just absolutely plummets. If you get drowsy, your damage gets severely penalized. If you get to, like, full-on tired or very tired, it's seriously bad news.
Baz0 Okajo just subscribed.
Oh, text-to-speech, you tried. Thank you to the file, or sorry, not the file. Thank you for the sub, Bazooka Joe. You now can enjoy nice advertisement-free viewing, and you have access to our emotes. So I hope you enjoyed those. Here comes a tropical storm. Goldiro says, my worst death, I guess, as I got bit from a zombie that's chilling in a bathroom. Dumb ways to die. I would say the death I was just annoyed with myself the most with was and I'm trying to go by memory, so I'm probably forgetting some really awful deaths. But was the last time we attempted this challenge, which was like 2-3 characters ago, was we had cleared Ekron, and we were moving into like the ritzy part of Riverside, clearing that. And what ended up happening was I went into a house because I was missing the expert tailoring book. And I wanted it, and I didn't need it, but I'm just greedy and I want all the things. And I couldn't find it at the bookstore, so like, you know what? I'm just going to start poking my nose in these houses. We're not going to full loot them. I'm just going to go in, check the bookshelf, and leave. And I was being careful going into the house to make sure I killed the zombies inside the house and all that. But I was just being overconfident how much we cleared the area because we had blasted guns. Like that run, I went real hard on the guns when we got to that part of town. Oh, wait, there's a log here? Okay. But, so I was just like, okay, it's clear. So I went to this house, and I poked around in the area where the bookshelf was. I'm like, let me grab stuff out of the garage real fast. Grabbed a tool or two out of the garage, stepped back out of the garage, which I had closed the door behind me. What had happened is a zombie had seen me through the window that had been broken previously in the back, and just silently entered the house, went to the garage door, like the inside door, and just stood there. And so, because I had heard nothing, and I felt confident that, like, I had cleared the area, like, this is all the, overconfidence kills you. So I didn't just, like, walk out the door and, like, watch my corners or whatever. I, like, strolled out like I owned the place. The zombie just kind of stood there, wait till he got halfway behind me, and just went. And, it was a bite, so run ended. At least I believe it was a bite. Either way, we ended up infected, so the run was ended. This character's only taken one zombie hit so far. It was a crawler that we were dealing with crawler hitboxes being crawler hitboxes trying to kill it with a machete. So we did take a laceration to the shin. But otherwise, we have had a number of injuries, but they've been like digging with their hands, forgetting that we didn't have a shovel. We tripped a couple of times, so we skinned our knees and whatever. There was another one. Oh, we hurt ourselves banging into a light post, so we scratched our hand on that one. That was actually pretty recently. That was this stream, if I'm not mistaken, we did that. Man, I don't have like a super solid plan with it. This is mostly I'm planting or putting those planks down so the trees don't grow. Hey, you. Off limits, man. Were you alone? Okay. Apparently left planks here. Sure. Yeah, so it's been good. This is like I've had a number of attempts this run, but this is like the second like really serious attempt at it. This one's gone way longer than the other one did. The other one we got to it was like 4 or 5 or 6 months or something like that. It was somewhere in that area. Before, like I said, I went to that house, got careless, got. Yeah, this one's been going real good. I had way more room in that backpack than I thought. I shouldn't be grabbing this many planks if I can deal with it. Yeah, this tropical storm hasn't kicked off in full gear yet. It'll get ugly. Like, eventually it'll probably get dark enough that we don't wander around outside. I was just checking after our last fit and strength points if we moved up any, but we didn't. It's fine. Oh, here comes fog. To me, that's not realistic. Like, during a tropical storm with all the rain, you're not going to have any real fog. It's pretty rare you get a substantial rain and fog together. It's kind of either or. You can have drizzles and fog and all that, but a big proper rain, I'll typically see. Now, in real life, with like a tropical storm or hurricane rolling through, I would not want to be this person's neighbor. With like all these just random things in their backyard. Like, that's the big worry you have with stuff like hurricanes, and that is just that crap getting caught by the wind and just chucked everywhere. Because you can only imagine, like, the damage, you know, some muffler could do going through the air at, you know, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. Like, the tires are probably fine, those are probably heavy enough, but stuff like the seats and all that could get thrown. Alright, I'm going to try and have our character go to sleep here. Yeah, we'll have our character go to sleep here. We're going to just get him along his way in that sleep, or her along in that way in that sleep. You know, take ourselves a nice little sleeping tablet, give it a minute to kick in real fast, and to do that. And meanwhile, I'm going to actually eat something. I have the munchies. Sorry about those hiccups. I mean, it's one bite. That's going to be a pretty solid rain out there. Let's go have a peeky peek. So yeah, this doesn't feel to me like real life tropical storm yet, but it's definitely getting there. And now I sleep in katana bed, because everyone knows the perfect bed is a bed filled with 25 broken katanas.